Hello everyone and welcome to another game of World of Warships. Today I'm in the Tirpitz, the tier 8 German battleship. I am on the map Northern Lights in a 2-point domination game mode, and it's a tier 8 battle. There are a lot of tier 8s around, but I'm top tier and that's nice. Oh. Tirpitz is a really beautiful ship. Was somewhat recently on sale again. Or, well, it was actually being sold because usually it's not in the shop. And also with the last major patch, we got permanent camouflage on our premium ships. So they always like get a special skin. But now this skin actually gives you benefits, like camouflage does, and you don't have to reapply it after each battle, which is great. Now let's take a look at the battle itself. I have been starting here on the eastern side. Now you can go here to the outskirts, far east. Not a very good thing, I'd say. Those islands just block you from the main engagement if you commit like around here. You can't react to anything, you can't support anyone. It's usually in this game mode, I think, a bad choice to go like here, close to the zone wall. You can check out this gap, but pushing through it in the early stages of the game will most likely result in your death, because everybody will shoot you. What you can do is stick around here and engage in somewhat of a firefight. I chose to go to the west. Well, there is a lot of open space here. You probably don't want to go too close to the zone wall, but you can drive around to somewhere the height of this island, and usually in the beginnings you will just engage in a sniper battle anyway. And here I'm having some nice shots at this cruiser. But he turns and I don't get a very good hit, unfortunately. Now you have to be careful if you are driving the way I am, because you more or less present your broadside for every enemy. So you probably should watch out if someone is pointing the guns at you. And maybe turn accordingly. Now I'm still going after this Oba. He is very low on health. But I don't really get any good hits. Now, well, he does have torpedoes. But no harm done here. Now I'm turning my ship. There are some battleships who could shoot me, so one, I'm not presenting my broadside to anyone anymore. Doesn't seem like anyone is really interested in me. Now you can see here on the minimap, there was somewhat of a battle in this gap. The enemies have lost quite a few ships, so they actually tried to go through here, I guess, and failed. It's really too early to push through this gap. In the beginning of this map you usually have, I'd say, probably 2 battle lines and a lot of long-range shots until you find a gap or one team has a reasonable advantage to push. If you're in a destroyer, of course, you can go closer, you can poke and hope to do something with your torpedoes. You might sneak past somewhere if there is an opening. We have a destroyer here, the far east, who probably tries to go around. I mean, I don't even have a carrier. It's not like you can just break through the lines and go carrier hunting. So we have here is probably a rather long engagement. Now, so far I haven't managed any really good hits at an enemy. But on the other side, I also haven't taken a lot of damage. Now I'm somewhat dangerous here, because I'm presenting my broadside, but I think he was shooting high explosive. And, well, was like 7k damage. That's okay. Not great, but I've also used my first charge of the repair consumable. Was why not? And there is a juicy cruiser who is presenting his... No, he is not. He is turning. This Atago was actually playing quite well, I'd say. Always when I tried to shoot him, he was like in the process of turning away. So he took great care not to expose his broadside too much. And I just missed it. Which is kinda sad. I think I'll definitely will take a few days until I get used to aiming again after my Christmas break. Although, I mean, if you know my videos, I was never that good at aiming, so. Now let's see if I can get some good hits finally. Probably not, right? So, I mean, technically, you could try, or our team could just try to push here in the west. There is enough open space, you don't really have to worry about getting ambushed, but you really need your team to stick together and push. If like one ship only drives there, you are just getting focused down and die. And nobody is actually willing to take that risk. And yes, I'm a top tier battleship, I could try leading the charge here somewhere. And that would work if my team actually supports me, and you can never be sure that your team supports you. Maybe I could be a little bit more aggressive. For now, I'm trying not to get too close to any zone wall. If I stick somewhere to the center here, I can support both sides if it becomes necessary. And if I see an opening at any one side, I could just try to push through. We have a lot of ships gathered here. I mean, maybe I could have tried something like going for it here and hoping those guys follow me. But I'm not really convinced that they would. Also, I mean, we are winning this sniping duel by now. Those who tried to be aggressive on the enemy side died. And their battleships are just sticking behind and sniping. Now our battleships are doing the same, but our, let's say, warships haven't done any too suicidal attacks so far. And you know, I kind of always feel bad if I'm too far behind in a battleship, because I'm thinking, you know, if they would be shooting me instead of a cruiser, I have a higher chance of bouncing hits or taking less damage, and I can even repair. But yeah, being too far in the front can just result in your early demise, especially if your team doesn't like follow you. And they still have a destroyer lurking around somewhere, so pushing here through those islands might also end up with a lot of torpedoes in your side. I mean, we are slowly getting closer. Now it looks like our battleships in the west push. I have a battleship here behind me. Those cruisers, maybe they are trying to go through this gap. I could try going for it here, but there are still a lot of ships. And those guys might be able to provide fire support once they are around this island, but they wouldn't take any hits. So there is still a lot of firepower around there. There are two battleships, there's a third battleship, and there are two cruisers. And that's not really firepower I can withstand for very long. So I was thinking about making a breakthrough here, or probably go make another pass, look at the next passage. Now, so far, I haven't really done all that much. But you see, a few hits here, a few hits there. I mean, that was another 7,000 damage. And while it doesn't hurt a battleship all that much, it adds up. Now, we aren't winning as convincingly anymore as we were at first. But we still have a slight lead. We have one more ship and we have more points. Now there are still 9 minutes left. The way this game is going, it might just come down to who has more points. And here I guess I could try to make break for it. Oh, there is a destroyer. So yes, this destroyer will come around this corner and try to hit me with torpedoes. So I should turn my ship away. There is no time to load high explosive, but well, my armor piercing did some damage. My secondaries open fire. I have a cruiser here to support me, and I'm obviously turning away. Now he has used his smoke, but he's just sailing right into my torpedoes. I think he imagined this differently. Now, I haven't seen any torpedoes so far. Maybe he didn't get them in... here they go. So he did manage to... some torpedoes in the water. Now let's see how my torpedo avoiding skills are doing these days. Looking good. Now I'm turning a little bit too much. That's always a problem, right? You can't just stop turning instantly, so... But hey, I did pretty well. And I didn't take any damage. I killed the destroyer, and if you kill a destroyer with torpedoes and you're in a battleship, it's just an amazing feeling. Awesome. So let's continue our sniping duel and shoot at another Tirpitz. And we have a very aggressive destroyer who is harassing those battleships. I mean, that's a great situation for destroyer to be in, because there is no enemy destroyer left to spot him. And since the destroyer was hiding here, he had free reign for quite a while around there. I'm not sure if he actually got any good hits, but at least he can use his... I mean, what kind of destroyer is he actually? Oh, yeah, okay, he's only tier 6, but he is a Japanese destroyer. So has good torpedoes, and he can just stay out of spotting range and harass them. And yes, I think finally there might be a time to just go for it. Although there is still a lot of firepower there. And my supporting battleships, they've been at the West Zone Wall for quite a while. Now, since I have been playing so passively this game, I'm probably not... shouldn't judge. And... okay, those torpedoes could have hit me. They're not sure if I would have managed to avoid those. But thankfully they didn't have the range. Now this Atago is very low on health. And I guess it was a good idea that I played it more passively. Because honestly I would have gotten any support if I'd pushed here. And they still have all of their ships sitting there in their cap circle. And yes, these battleships might provide some sniping support, but the cruisers weren't really in a position to help me here. And let's just face it, if you are the one who pushed through, all of those ships would assist you. And when I say assist you, I don't mean they help you, they would just focus fire you. I guess that's the better term. And I'm doing a very poor job at killing this Atago, who should have died a long time ago, I think. But yeah, this guy is actually pretty decent at avoiding shots, and I'm just not that shot. Now if those battleships would come just... Yeah, they'd actually go for it and push. Guess I'd push with them. I mean, the time's almost over and hey, the enemy is suddenly in the lead. So I guess we just sat idle for too long. And unfortunately I wasn't able to score any citadel hits so far. And at these ranges it's... I guess it's also to a large... Yeah, I mean it's definitely my aim. Oh, there is a citadel hit. So, yay! But he survived. And he's probably repairing. Or he just dies. But yes. At these ranges, I mean, there is still a certain skill in actually hitting guy, and you're better at aiming, you'll have a higher likelihood of scoring citadel hits. But I'd say to a large degree getting a citadel at this range is just luck. And nobody has hit my citadel, so I probably shouldn't complain. And can I finish this guy? Probably not. Well, it was close. Now I can't really turn and use my back guns to shoot at him. So I want to make use of those guns and shoot the other Tirpitz. Unfortunately my front guns have reloaded and now I'm shooting all my guns at this guy instead of just killing the wounded Tirpitz. That was certainly a mistake on my part. But no, I think it's looking rather good for us. And yes, I am finally pushing. I've stopped only talking about it. I'm actually doing it this time. There you go.
Enemy battleship sunk.
But as you can see, even now, I'm not having that much support when I'm going for it. I mean, these two cruisers, they are probably pushing through here now. This cruiser is somewhat in the behind, and I guess he is somewhat helping me. And those battleships, well, I avoid those two. Yes, I can avoid those torpedoes, which is great. So those battleships, well, one is still, I mean, they are engaged with this one battleship, I guess, but still, they could have tried a bit more aggressively to do something here.
Problem solved, sir.
So I guess it was good that I played it that slow. Now, let's see what happens if I duel with the I mean, he's in the Tirpitz, so he knows that I have torpedoes. And I have 6 kilometers range. He probably won't drive in a straight line, he will suspect what I did. Now I could turn around and try to use the torpedo launcher on my other side. And also, like, if I just point my ship at him, there is less chance getting hit with torpedoes, but you know, there's only like 60 seconds left. And we have a lot more points, even if I think now we should win this. And can I kill him before the game ends? Yes, I can. Ah, there are torpedoes in the water. It surprisingly doesn't look like it. And we won. So let's take a look at the results. I'm finished second in my team with almost 1900 base experience. I'm quite happy with that. Surely very well played to our Pensacola. And certainly also the Mutsuki with only a tier 6 ship. And if you remember, I pointed him out where he was very fine up front, harassing the enemy ships. And probably did some decent damage considering his result, so he made the best of the situation, where there was no enemy destroyer left to spot him. Well, I guess, in general, very well played from my team. We could have been more aggressive, and with coordination, I think we could have pushed a lot sooner. I was thinking about it on several occasions, but in the end, being patient just paid off. And the Tirpitz is a ship with decent accuracy, so while not the most exciting battle, it shows that sometimes patience is necessary, and, well, it had a few funny moments this game. So I hope you enjoyed watching it, and I see you guys next time.